Hello, DOGTV. Joe Myers here, back in my home office. I hope everybody is trying to enjoy themselves as much as possible during this season of being stuck inside. Sorry, I'm streaming myself. Very honestly, that was me talking about me. I want to make sure it's working for you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We have a wonderful guest today, a dog champion, a trainer. Some really exciting things going on. We're in her studio. Thank you so much for welcoming us today. We've had hundreds of thousands of views. This upcoming week, we have the dog chef going to make a woof roll. That's going to be tomorrow. We're also going to talk about some music and a live musical guest. Next week, we have Dr. Liz Bales and Bobby Lyons in fitness. So human fitness, dog fitness. We're going to have some fun. But without any further ado, let me welcome my guest, Chrissy Joy. Welcome, Chrissy.
Hi.
Hello, Chrissy.
Hello, Joe. It's so nice to finally get a chance to talk with you.
We're so excited to have you. We love talking to trainers. We love talking to people who this is their life. This is what they do, is be around dogs and let them perform to their highest level. Quick overview, Chrissy, before we get started. You are a celebrity dog trainer. I think you might have a celebrity right behind you. Stunt Dog Champion. What is that? How did you get started in the Stunt Dog Champion celebrity dog mom life?
Well, I actually started off training horses. And so that's how I got involved with working animals and just really following the passion of working animals. But to lead into kind of what I do today is that I had always had a passion for working animals on set and just a dream for it since I was a little girl. Never really knew how to get into it. And it turned into a passion of working with animals and then adopting Beasley. I adopted him about 5 years ago. And now I have Whidbey, who you hear crying in the back. And honestly, just applying my passion for training and building a dog's skill levels and working with them, but then also learning the production side of things. And so I did acting for many years to learn what is it like to work on set. And you can even see here, we're filming today. You can kind of see we got a whole setup going on.
Oh, wow, what a
trying to stay busy and provide some cool content while I'm all stuck here. I'm at the facility right now getting some training in. And but anyway, so I was able to marry both worlds by working with some of the best animal talent agencies in the world. And I'm so grateful to this day for the opportunity. Very
cool. Can you tell us about Beasley's latest project, Agent Toby Banks, and sort of what that process was? I have not seen it yet, very honestly, but I heard there are a ton of tricks, from holding still to pretending to sleep, to do a whole bunch of things. How has that project come to be, and tell us a little bit about it?
So I want to ask you first, Joe, have you ever watched Agent Cody Banks? Is that the movie?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I knew it because so I had to ask, because that's totally like a Frankie Muniz, Hillary Duff, it's super,
for sure.
Cute. But anyway, so it's Agent Toby Barks. And that's why I had to ask you.
Oh yes, I haven't worked here.
But it's kind of similar. It's this cheesy, cute movie, but the dog is a dog by day, spy by night. I mean, can you get any better than that?
Amazing.
And, as far as an experience goes, first of all, the cast and crew, we were like a family. LTD Animals is a fantastic talent agency for animals, and they found us. I'll never forget the day we got the script, which was like that thick. And they called me and said, "We've got a movie for Beasley. I told the director, you're not going to find another dog that can do this better than this dog can." And, no pressure, right? So we got the script and I read through it and I was laughing, and I just knew this would be a great family film, but also on a trainer standpoint, what a fantastic challenge to take for myself and my dog and, our facility that we train at and we work our tricks. BFF Pet Services, I'm representing rep. But it's more than that. It's how we all work together and build each other up so our dogs can be successful. And by working here, I'm able to further his skills. And so when we got the challenge of the script, and some of the moves are, it's funny how much they take out at the final film. I'm sure you're familiar with editing and all of that, but the amount of work we put into each of those scenes for the dog to hit the mark and be able to do that certain action where sometimes I wasn't even be able to be in his eye line. Like I wasn't even there and he still had to do certain marks without me even being around because of how tight some of the shots were. So you're going to see different skills from him faking sleep to like jumping in a moving vehicle to getting trapped by the bad guy.
No spoilers, please. No spoilers. We're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. No spoilers.
That's so true. But I have to say one of the coolest things that he ever learned on his own was looking left and right and in different directions. And so there was one point where I couldn't be in the scene, but the director, actually the cameraman was able to be in the scene, and the cameraman was able to direct Beasley for the scene while I couldn't be in there. Wow. And Beasley was listening to him. The amount of work this dog did that pull it off. The director said himself that every time a dog doesn't hit its mark, it's money, it's time, it's a problem. And he said that Beasley never missed a beat. So I'm just really proud. That's
awesome. Well, congratulations, Beasley. I promise I will watch it. I have plenty of time.
Oh, good. It's a slapstick, cheesy, good movie. Like
I love it. I got a little for a kid and a little not for a kid, so we'll watch it. Scout's honor. You have any questions for this celebrity dog trainer, this incredible person? Please feel free. Add them below. Maybe you want to get your dog into it. Actually, we have one in the comments right now. Does Beasley have a day when he just doesn't like to do sets, like do tricks on the set?
That's a great question, Tara. So when we're not working, Beasley has inflammatory bowel disease. Let me start off with that. So with inflammatory bowel disease, my management of his health is paramount. Like if he eats the wrong thing or he's a little imbalanced, like his whole day's spent. So when he's not working, he's right there. He literally, he just groaned because I literally let him sleep and be a dog and just fill his cup as a dog should. And we do very short training sessions. But you know what's so funny is that he develops a family on every set he works on. That when it's time to get out of the crate, and because I really let him like have a Zen moment when he's not working, it's a quiet room, it's a crate, it's dark, it's like really good for him to rest. When I open that crate, he races me to the set because he's like, let's go to work because that's where the treats happen and the people pet me. And his cup is so filled by the environment that he gets to work in. If I do notice ever that he's a little off or he's tiring or, we just actually had an episode come out last night of The Good Fight on CBS.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. It's a great episode, really famous actors in it. And Beasley had to do a fake pee. And I told the director, I said, listen, he's not going to be able to do this 20 times. That leg is going to fatigue. So for me to protect my dog, I tell him you're going to get 5 good shots at him and then he has to take a break. So protecting your animal is what keeps them looking forward to the next opportunity.
I love it. So you sort of combine it, make sure his trailer has all the fancy treats he needs, make sure it's perfect. I love that you sort of a process you're communicating on his behalf because he can't.
And you have to be an advocate for them. You really do have to be an advocate and know when the dog is exhausting out or when it's just too much or maybe it's not safe. And you have to also remember production isn't always thinking in terms of dog knowledge. They're thinking of we need to get the shot. So they really need you sometimes to step in and say, well, hold the phone. That's not going to work. If you do this, then the dog is going to do that. And they go, oh, I didn't even know that. So communicating is a big deal.
I love it. Do you mind doing, maybe we can take a little break on the questions and do a little trick, something simple with Beasley. Let's see it. I might give you the full screen. You're calling what is.
Okay.
This is your unofficial nomination for Dog Star.
You're throwing me on the spot. Okay, let me grab some.
Just a quick one, simple, easy. Nothing too complicated.
All right, let me get some snacks out because obviously that's what we need first.
Oh, Beasley gets it. He understands. He's ready.
Wait, he is here. He has his bow tie on. Back. All right, so do I have the full screen? Okay, good. You can see my lovely film mess. Wait. Good job. So I give him a treat, let him show he has it. Are you ready? Shy? Are you shy? Are you shy? Good boy. Oh, you can't see him. Come here. Come here. Come here. You're off screen. Come. There you go. Sit. Good. Are you shy? Are you shy? Good. Can you breathe? good boy. Oh boy, can you stand? Good. Now this is a fun one. This is the one he does really well. Easy, ready? Oh, he says I got to eat that treat. Good. Come. Sit. Good boy. Ready? Look paw. Good. Look G. Good. Look paw. Yes. Look G. Yes. Good job. Can you stand? Back, back, back. Can you nip? Good boy. He's got a lot of stuff in him.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I love, my favorite one is the shy. Like, I just think that is like, it's hard personality. It's not just a standard like paw.
No, and a lot of these tricks, a lot of people know already, and it's nothing that, really is like, holy cow, wow. But the difference is on working on set is that you're asking the dog to do it over and over and over and over again without reward, because I can't always go in and reward in between. So the dog has to have lots of stamina and be able to do this from a distance with distraction and lights and people working. You can't just say, oh, wait, let me go in there and do something. They're like, no, we got to keep filming. So your dog has to be super stable, but also be able to have a lot of stamina to do these things over and over and over again.
Really cool. What was the first trick Beasley learned, and what's the last trick you taught him?
Oh, so the first trick was, I would say, paw. The typical paw, which is good for nail trims. Yeah. And the last trick, the one we work on right now, is how to skip. So he knows how to kind of skip down the street. Quarantine makes a dog trainer very creative.
I love your skip. We do have a question from Deborah. Why specifically use, I assume ham. I've never, ham and cheese.
So she's asking why I use, she says ha and chi. It's actually G and ha. Why not?
It's not ham and cheese at all. My fault. Right. Okay, let's explain. I'm a newbie. I thought it was ham and cheese. Sorry, Deborah.
I got you, Joe. I got you. Comment.
I was like,
we're gonna work through this.
Okay, let's go. Let's start at the beginning. Ha and chi.
Do you see how he thinks he belongs on set? He literally sits there in front of the camera. like we're filming me today, and you're like, he just sits there staring at the camera like he thinks this is my moment. Anyway, so G and ha is actually Iditarod words for left and right, and so that's him learning left and right is G and ha. So sled dog, think sled dog.
So why Iditarod word, like left and right seems tough enough. Like,
I know. So I'm really weird about the words I choose, but that made sense to me. And also left, right. They're longer words. They're not crisp. They're not short and clean. Like I just felt that they could be confused for other things he knows, like limp, left, things like that. So G and ha are really short. And I also use them in agility. So after he jumps, I'm able to tell him to take a left or a right after the jump. So kind of having those commands ready to go. It helps.
I seriously thought it was about treating him. I was like, I don't think he uses ham and cheese, but maybe. Absolutely amazing. My mind is blown. I assume it would make sense that you would alter the words because it's not like he understands, syntax. He's just like, oh, this means that and that means this. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, also a lot of body language comes into it because you have to remember, the whole fake pee scene on The Good Fight last night, I had to do it silent command from like a 15-foot distance because the actors are talking. Yeah. So, even though we have like a lot of these little moves that are, yes, good boy, that are going to be verbal, he likes the food that I have now. You have to remember that a lot of the time we can't say a word. So it's all, now you got to think theatrical. Have you ever done theatrical stuff, Joe? Have you ever done theater?
What do you think? Yeah.
Everything is a lot bigger on stage, right? So you should see, if they could record me behind the camera half the time, I'm doing these gigantic movements to get the dog to do stuff because they're generally 15 feet away from me. So they need to see what I need them to do.
I always thought it would be a really funny TV show of like the dog trainer behind the scenes, like that life behind the scenes, what it looks like, the long days.
Yes,
Like,
and the blooper reel. I mean, there's so much value in that, but also I think it would also help a lot of people understand that, like, you know, I think sometimes there's a bad idea of how dogs are worked on set or animals are treated. And I think that it would also shed light that these, like, at least the ones we work with, are loved so much. And it ends up being like just a grand adventure.
amazing. We'll have to pitch that maybe on Dog TV for me.
I love that. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Amazing. You heard it here. Let's talk. I think the right people are on the line too. So we'll talk about it later. How do I get a deaf dog to do tricks like you're doing with your dog?
That's a great question. I even have clients here at BFF Pet Services who have deaf dogs that are like getting super high trick titles. It's completely possible. It really goes back to what I just mentioned, which is utilizing your body language with the motion you want the dog to do. So if I want my dog to look to the left or right, I'm going to use my body language to help encourage that left or right look. Roll over, you can use your hand gesture. And of course, if you're doing it from a distance, you just make the gesture bigger so that they can, get it done and see you. But no, you can teach deaf dogs. Oh my gosh, there's some incredible trainers out there. I don't recall exactly who it is, who have deaf dogs that do like massive stunt shows, and flips and tricks and all of that. So that is definitely not an issue or a crutch or any issue like that. You should have just as much success. Now, it's going to be important that your dog can see you. For example, Beasley had to like drive a car, and he couldn't see me because it was really dark, and I was like hanging out of a vehicle. It's a whole nother story.
I assume this was on a set, not just like on a Saturday night.
Yeah, right, exactly. He was picking up the pizza,
It's like social distancing.
But if your dog can't see you and depends on you for those commands, or if can't hear you and depends on you, you're going to want to make sure that you are in eye line of that dog, where I can be gone from Beasley but still tell him what to do. Then he doesn't necessarily have to see me, but he can trust, okay, she said lay down, I can hear it. So it's a little bit of difference that you'll have to do if you ever did set work.
Sort of modify it. So Kelly, I hope that answered your question. Make sure you submit your dog to Dogstar, Kelly. We want to see this dog doing the tricks. Maybe it's just the paw. Maybe it's driving a car. Amazing. A question from Amber. What is Beasley's favorite trick, and what is your favorite trick?
I love you, Amber, first of all. Thank you for tuning in.
Amber was on the show. Check out hers. She does some amazing trick and training, and we had a lot of fun. So check out Amber's show as well.
I would say that, that is such a difficult one. There's so many favorites that I have, but I love when Beasley and I start to push each other a little bit in areas that we're kind of both uncomfortable with. So I love really finite tricks. I love like teaching the skip, like skipping down the street.
Yeah.
Is stuff that takes so much finite work. That's me. I love to nitpick. So I love working out something and making it really solid. I'd say his favorite trick is the fake pee, without a doubt. He'll fake pee on anything.
Can he for us?
He totally can.
Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna give you the screen again.
Okay.
But this is one of my favorite ones as well. So we're gonna do. Let's get some hearts and likes to give Beasley some motivation. I want to see those things going for the fake pee.
Good boy. Good boy. Go pee on it. Oh, you did it. Good boy. Good job, Bees. Can you do it the other way? And hike. Look. Yes, that's it. Hike. Come. Yes. Come. Hike. 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 There it is. Good boy. Here, back up. Back. Pop it up. Good boy. So you can see that I use two different words for the pee, and that's really important because, if we're going to do both directions, sometimes the camera's like, well, that's great that he can pee in that direction, but I need to see his other side. So I actually teach him both ways and I use different words there. That's where he learns the difference between left and right, different sides, things like that. It kind of makes it a little bit easier.
I love that. That was definitely one of the favorites. And Amber, Dawn, Becky, Hannah, those are one of their favorites.
It's a great one.
What has been your most maybe frustrating day on set as this, there's a lot of glamour, you're around cool celebrities, your dogs all day. What has been a moment where you're just like, we got to get through this, Beasley, me and you. You don't have to name names, of course, but I want to just sort of paint the realness of this role you're doing. It seems all fun and games until it's midnight on day 7 of a shoot, and the food truck doesn't show up. What's the
that's a really great question. I'd have to say personally, it might have been I think it was the first day we were filming Agent Toby Barks. So it was a lot of stress and pressure. Mm-hmm. And Beasley was killing it. I mean, in the first scene, he had to we were like, hey, hi, we're here. Okay, we're ready for you, which was great. And he ran in the shed and he pulled the bed off and, not giving anything away. He was spot on, man. I mean, he nailed his tricks like he had been born for it. And they were just like, holy cow. But I know Beasley, and it's his first day, which is always the most overwhelming and the most socialization with learning people and sounds and places. And we filmed into overnight. So we filmed nights with this movie. So 12, 14-hour days easily. And I think it was when we got to the van scene, which was really hard on us because I needed a really high energy from Beasley. So it was supposed to be a very chaotic, high energy moment. And it was also his last scene of the day. So if you think dog energy wise, if you write the shots for the day, it's best to put the high energy stuff early so that you get the most out of your dog, and then you can dwindle off and do some of the stuff that's a little more quieter. So it was really hard for me on the first day of our first feature film to really try to tap into Beasley giving me everything he can to get through those last scenes, which included being put in a van and the doors slammed behind him and very scary stuff. He's like, what? Where? I'm not in the van, by the way. So he's and he's a rescue dog. So there's some things here that he's trying to work through in his head. And, I'm right at the window. But I think for us, it was it kind of sobered us up a little bit. Okay, we really want to communicate and proof his skills and be aware of his energy levels in order to give the best product.
Very cool. Yeah, it's sort of interesting.
Like Joe, it's so sobering to be I'm human. We make mistakes, or we don't have a perfect day. God, we make so many mistakes and things don't go right, and that's okay. But it's about learning from it and how can we, not just myself, do better, but how can the team you're working with understand the situation so that we can make this production kick ass.
I love it. It's such a long day. You're dealing with stressful situations, realizing you'll get through it. But, it's work at the end of the day. You're working on these sets 12, 14 hours a day. If you've ever filmed anything in your living room on a professional set, you know that. We have a lot of really cool trainers I see in the chat. But we might have some people that have never done this before, or maybe thought about, or they're just starting off the process. Any tips or tricks for people who are maybe just starting off or want to do this, but they're like, nah, not for me? What motivation would you give them?
That's a fantastic question. And I'll tell you all right now, there is plenty of work for everyone. So that's the first thing I want you to always remember. So don't getting into the competitive aspect or kind of taking it out of context or or feeling really bad if you don't get that casting call. I want you to just remember there's work for everyone. So your time will come. Now, on the flip side, how do you get started? I would, first of all, work with a professional trainer if you don't already have one, or some online content. BFF Pet Services is filming online content, so it's going to be available soon. But I want you to get involved with obedience, teach your dogs those very basics, but also there are certain set skills that will help your dog too, including some tricks. I personally followed the Do More With Your Dog program. That's a trick titling program. It's a website, literally domorewithyourdog.com. But you can do titles from home. So quarantine, this is a great time to get some trick titles. And also it's your couch to 5K. So if you've never done it before, they walk you through how to do it and how to get those titles. But having some of those unique skills is going to make you more of an asset to animal talent agencies. Which also segues me into the next thing is animal talent agencies. That's really how you get involved, is look for those really talented agencies putting out casting calls. Now, right now it's not happening, but you can prepare yourself.
Sure.
And they will put out casting calls, or maybe you can show them a cool video or pictures. We actually run the Bonafide Talent Group, which is when we could travel, workshops we did nationwide, and we will do nationwide. And it's a resource for those animal talent agencies. So without you having to run around and try to get all these casting calls and submit the right video or the right pictures, we actually have you in our roster, in our grand resource. So when an agency comes in touch with us, we can say, absolutely, I've got this dog, this dog, this dog, submit them. And it kind of does the work for you. So that's also something you can look into as well. We are not an agency, but we love to work through the animal talent agencies because they've got a crazy job and they can have it. That is like not a world you want to mess with.
Certainly, yeah. It's certainly very, very interesting. And maybe a good place to start for people is submitting their video for DogStar.
Yes. And talk about working in front of a camera. Like that's the perfect way, is just immerse yourself in trying to film your own dog. Think about lighting. Think about where you're going to do it, and think about what you want your dog to do. Maybe you have to work your dog at a distance to get the right shot. Let's do it. Like, make some fun videos and play around.
You're going to submit a couple videos of Beasley. So there's some competition there, but we encourage everyone to submit a video. Maybe it's 5 minutes of your dog, pretending like they're in the Olympics, since the Olympics got canceled this year. Maybe it's your dog talking to the camera or just having fun. My dog chases his tail. Can't teach him to do it, and so we submitted one of those. So there's no limits. You don't have to fake pee. We should just do a fake pee section, I think. That was a very popular trick.
Just like a montage.
Just a montage and like, what are you fake peeing on? And maybe like a fake pee.
The best fake peer can be like a title.
I think so. I think, figuring out what to do. It's absolutely amazing. So I encourage everyone that's watching this to head over to dogtv.com/dogstar, submit their video, start their process. It can be a paw or it could be, a whole series of tricks. So your expertise. Well, Chrissy, it's been absolutely fantastic chatting with you on Dog TV Chats. What's a sort of last little thing to give to the audience who's stuck at home in quarantine with their dog? What are you doing as a dog mom to stay active, or just sort of a last little advice?
Absolutely. So a couple of things I'd love to plug, if that's okay. So for the rest of the month of April, Elevate Your Dog is online, and it's Elevate Your Dog Summit. And it's a lot of great topics and content from really nice trainers all over the place. Some really talented people giving out content just to keep you guys busy this month. So uplift you and kind of get a lot of people working together they say like you can't get 5 trainers in the room. So it's kind of like breaking the mold and getting people to work together and just having a good time. Also super exciting, like so thrilled. BFF Pet Services is going to be doing online content. We're filming today. It's really excellent quality, and we're going to have like such a variety of activities, all the way from your like basic obedience, tricks classes, puppy, because everyone's getting puppies right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Courses. You can go there, and also we're going to be able to like work directly with you with video content and comments. So that's really exciting too. But I think the last thing I just want to put out there, guys, is that I know times are hard, but this is such a wonderful time to kind of reflect, take a moment with your dog, but also just work really hard on your mental happiness and your physical happiness. So, try to do a little more self-care right now if you can, and continue to support the people around you and communicate. And we still have so many ways of being able to communicate with each other, and just leave those doors open. I know it's a tough time, but we also don't know what's going to happen in 5 minutes, next week, next year. We just don't know. So really not much has changed in that aspect. So just try to have a good outlook.
I love it. Take care of yourself. Take care of your dog. Get some extra trick time in.
Yes.
Understand that the world will return back to some sense of normalcy sometime. But all you can do is control today. Well, Chrissy, thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow. We have the visionary behind some of the Dog TV music tomorrow, sort of explaining that. We have the dog chef teaching us how to make a woof roll, sushi roll for your dog.
Ooh.
Oh, very exciting. And then we have some amazing Bobby Lyons for some fitness next week. Dr. Liz Bales, veterinarian, telling you about how to take care of your dog at home since you can't really go to the vet right now, and some amazing Dog TV chats coming up next week. Chrissy, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. I will be watching Agent Toby bark.
That's right. And I want you to watch it, and I'm in there twice.
Oh.
So see if you can find me.
Little Easter egg. Where's the best place to watch it? Does it matter?
It's on Amazon. You can buy it Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon TV, and it should be just streaming right to your home. But especially if you have a Fire Stick, you should be able to find it.
Perfect. Go check it out. Maybe tag DOGTV when you post it and you see Chrissy Joy on camera. I love it. Maybe we'll see where she's at. A little Easter egg.
Two times. I'm actually playing characters, but you gotta look.
Are you the same character?
No, 2 different characters.
Oh, she's trying to trick us up here. I see it. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. We'll see you back here tomorrow learning how to make a wolf roll live on camera. We'll give you the recipe. It'll be a lot of fun. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Have a wonderful Thursday. I'm sorry, this lockdown. Have a wonderful Thursday. We'll see you here tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.